What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review and a special expansion review. And today I'm very excited to check out Voodoo Ninjas vs. Pygmies, an expansion to the original Voodoo. This is for 2 to 8 players. Take about 30 minutes to play. It's for ages 8 to 99. So in the original Voodoo, you were going to be casting voodoo spells on other people, rolling dice, and making them do some silly things at the table. This new expansion is going to add 2 new type of curse cards that you'll be able to introduce, and more importantly, 2 more players. Let's open it up, I'll show it to you, and I'll tell you if I think I like it. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what's shooting inside of the expansion for Voodoo Ninjas vs. Pygmies. So first and foremost, we got a handy dandy little rule sheet. It's very small, it should have you up and running in no time at all, and I can explain to you what all comes in this, what changes are right now. So the big thing, at least in my mind, is the fact it's going to add 2 new players to the game, and even though you kind of could easily do it yourself, but it's still nice that you have the little pieces out there. Aside from that, of course, there's ninjas and there's pygmies, so you're going to get 2 new races. Now, the ninjas have a really cool special ability where if after completing the curse and sending the curse to someone else, if you pay 1 die, you can actually make them flip this over, which will make it a lot more difficult for them to remember what the curse is, and thus they're more likely to break it. But you also at the same time have to remember what the curse is yourself. Now, one problem I do have with this is I wish there was some sort of iconography to remind people of that, especially considering, you know, this is a great game to play while you're drinking. I just wish there was, like, maybe just an extra little symbol here or there to remind you that, but still a very cool special ability with the ninjas. The pygmies, on the other hand, let me see if I can find one, have special cards that look like this. They're only going to cost you 1 die to play a curse on someone else. However, the catch is you're not going to get any points for it right now, but you very well may get those points later in the game when they break that curse. I really like this. Well, I'll tell you more about that in pros and cons. In addition, you're also, since this adds 2 more players, you're going to get more permanent curses. So when an opponent throws doubles, play your bongos, boop, boop, boop. If you don't, that player wins 1 point. So this one, you actively have to be paying attention to what everybody rolls. If an opponent breaks a curse, take a photo of him/her. If not, that player wins 1 point. And we house ruled it so where you can just take a photo with your hand, because getting out your phone each and every time would be kind of annoying. When you break a curse, do Harry Carry. If not, that caster wins 1 point. This is where you have to explain Harry Carry to a lot of people. Before passing the voodoo, do a tribal dance. If not, lose 1 point. And before passing the voodoo, call your tiger. If not, lose 1 point. That would be a lot of fun too. In addition, you're also going to gain some new artifact cards. Casually hum or whistle after getting caught breaking a curse. Your opponent doesn't score points, and the curse remains unbroken, but you lose that, so it's a one-time pass. Call your giant robot to break the curse. The caster wins only 1 point. Cast with a fishing pole. The player in the lead loses 1 point. You win 1 point. And it's got a little fishing pole, so you pull them back. And then play an arrowhead and discard 4 dice to make your curse affect all players. This one can be a lot of fun. This one, I honestly worry a little bit about that one. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So, let's go over some of the new ninjas and pygmies, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this one. So, Liony Lou, before passing the voodoo, the target must roar like a lion. Before passing the voodoo, the target must glare at it. The target must stay on his or her knees. Before rolling the dice, the target must make a disgusted face. When a player receives the target card, the target tags him/her and says, "You're it!" Before passing the voodoo, the target must cough. Before passing the voodoo, the target must spread his or her arms like a crane's wings and kick the air. Before passing the voodoo, the target must shout, "Ta-da!" and throw a karate strike. Actually, that's "Hota!" My mistake. Turtle 2, before rolling the dice, the target must make a turtle sound. Before passing the voodoo, the target must stand up and perform a rain dance, and you're going to be doing various other different things. But that, in a nutshell, is what you're going to be getting inside of Voodoo Ninja vs. Pygmies. Alright then, Voodoo Ninjas vs. Pirates from Mayday Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a couple different reasons. If you didn't like the original Voodoo, this is not going to change your mind. It's still a game where you're going to be doing absurd and silly things at the table, drawing attention to yourself, and that's just not everybody's cup of tea. Also, it's still a very simple, light game. It's still firmly in the family slash gateway slash party category. Nothing more than that. Now, brass tacks, there are some more cards in this game that I'm not a big fan of. And the main reason why is because I just feel like a lot of people aren't going to do them. So you can just kind of cast them on someone who you know is not going to want to do them, and you're going to guarantee yourself, say 2 points when you cast it, and then another 2 points as soon as they break it, because most of the time they probably won't do it. And that's unfortunate. Now, I do understand that that's not a fault of the game. That's a fault of the players' unwillingness to do certain things like that. And it's not a huge problem. There's only like maybe 1 or 2 cards in there that I really feel that way about. Yeah, but still. I wish there were... I don't know. I guess that's really a problem that you can't solve. That's more of a player problem than a game problem. But it is something that I did want to mention. Any other cons that I have with the game? Oh, there's another minor nitpick. They redid the 2-player variant. I still think the game stinks at 2 players. Also, they give you a suggestion on how you can fix the Hakuna Matata card, because the Hakuna Matata card is a little bit ridiculous. It's the one that makes everyone, aside from the active player, hum or sing or dance or hum or sing. And so I wish they would have just included a new Hakuna Matata card so you could decide if you wanted to put that in and take out the old one, or put both in, or what you wanted to do. But instead they just tell you, here's how you can fix it. So that's a little bit of a nitpick. Any other cons that I have with the game? Oh, when you do play with 8 players, it can take a little bit of time before it gets to your turn. It's not a huge deal because you're still going to be actively entertained most of the time by all the different curses flying around. And now especially with the one that makes it so that everybody gets a curse, and there's cheap curses, so there's going to be more curses at the table. So I think that's more of a minor nitpick than anything. Moving on to the pros, Voodoo, Ninjas versus Pygmies. It's this simple. If you like Voodoo, you should get this expansion. There you go. Video over. Or it should be. I mean, that's it. If you enjoy the original Voodoo, I feel like this is about as close to a must-own expansion as you can get. It's not necessary, but it enhances the game. You're going to have more curse cards, more variety, more people doing silly things. You're going to have more of the permanent curses. You're going to have more of the artifacts, which is really good because I like the variety of the different artifact cards. Some of these are really good, which is great as well. And it's simple. And the great thing about this is it's easy to implement. You just add all this stuff in, and then you explain the ninja rule, and you're good to go. I mean, that literally is the only extra thing you need to mention when explaining the game with the expansion versus just the game, is that now, if you have a ninja card and you play it on someone, you can spend 1 extra die, and they flip it upside down. Now, I will say the ninja one is a really interesting one. I really like the idea of that. But it's a double-edged sword because it's difficult for them, but at the same time it's difficult for you because you then also have to remember the curse that you put on them. But I do like that. It does increase the memory aspect by just a teeny little notch, but still rock solid. So in the end, Voodoo, Ninjas versus Pygmies. If you like Voodoo, go get this one. It's just that simple. 2 extra players, more cards, 2 different races. I like the cheap cards. I like the ninja cards. Overall, it's a no-brainer. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, what is a pygmy? I don't know. I thought it was something in your eye, like pigmentation. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you know what a pygmy is without looking it up? I don't think you do. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.